Welcome to Guerrillapreneur podcast, sponsored by Ceyero Consulting. Each dollar out of 15 cents. And today we're going to bring you 10 more ways that you can save money. First way, do you send out invoices to your users? I worked with a client a few years back who sent out hundreds of invoices each month. Those invoices made a very good landscape to market new products to customers. Now, the more complex your billing system is, the better, because that gives you a way to slice and dice and not to send advertising to customers who aren't likely to buy those products. But to do that, even QuickBooks, you can include a little advertisement, a link to a website that sends your customers to places where they can buy more of your products or services. I mean, you notice that your utilities do that now. When you open up the utility bill, you see that they have advertisements in it for you to buy appliances, to work with many of their partners. And so you should also reach out to some of your partners and see if they will include some of your advertisement in their invoices. You have vendors that supply you with product. See if they'll let you put an insert of the cost. Second, how about a car magnet? You've seen those cars driving down the street with a magnet on the door or on the back bed of a pickup truck that has the company's logo and the URL and maybe a catchy phrase that draws your eye to the car magnet. Why haven't you bought one? I bought 4, and I put them on all my work vehicles, and people do stop, and people have called the number, and people have gone to the website just from the car magnet. I spent $15 per car magnet, and have gotten more than I ever expected in terms of a return from that investment. Go to Vistaprint, check out what they have, because they have a lot of different variety of car magnets that you can use, and you can generate a lot of new leads. This is Walmart, you may go to movies, you may go to the dentist, but everywhere you go, your car turns into a marketing platform for your business. You're passing hundreds of cars per day. Why not use that as an opportunity to reach more customers? Maybe you're struggling to tell your story, to get some traction on social media. Well, let me tell you about the third way that you can generate some leads for a fraction of the cost with some free. Live.com is a free software platform where you can turn a blog post into an instant video that's compelling, and it also has royalty-free music that you can include with your video. So if you're struggling to tell your story, to get eyeballs on your content as a small business, use Lumen 5 to create a really catchy piece of video that will draw eyeballs to what you're doing. I recently used Lumen about a blog post related to Black Panther, the movie. I entitled it, "The 5 Ways the Black Panther Movie Encourages Small Black Businesses." I generated that just by dropping in the blog post into Lumen 5, and Lumen 5 recommended 6 to 7 slides that represented my text, and they included the taglines on each of those slides. They converted that to video and gave me options of music that I could put underneath the video that it created. I could go in and edit the taglines, add in my logo, add in whatever URL I wanted to direct people to. And when I was complete with the video, just hit submit. They then generated the final product and gave me the opportunity to post it straight to social media or download it onto my hard drive. So that simple blog post that I put out there just for the Black Panther movie, comparing and contrasting all the ways that the movie can inspire young entrepreneurs, was seen by nearly 6,000 people. I had 1,200 plus views and had dozens of people subscribe to my podcast as a result of that one video that cost me absolutely nothing to generate. Now, of course, Lumen has accounts where you can upgrade and get more functionality, more capability, and make longer videos. But if you're just looking to get attention, that it works. Let's keep it with that theme of trying to get people's eyeballs on your company logo or URL. You have white t-shirts. Why not go get your company URL and logo put on it? Yeah, just print up 10, 15 of those, or a black t-shirt, whatever pops the most, and get your company logo and tagline put on the front and back. So that when you're out anywhere doing yard work in the front yard, going to Home Depot, going to the movies, you have a t-shirt that will attract eyeballs and get people asking questions and starting conversations with you. I have done that, and I've gotten stopped dozens of times for people wanting to know, one, where I got the t-shirt, but two, what is that? Tell me my network for something as it's inexpensive as a $7 to $8 t-shirt. You're going to get a great return on your investment. And let's talk about the fifth way. Most everyone that will see this video has some sort of printer. I bought a printer 2 days ago from Best Buy, and the ink costs more than the printer. I bought a $42 Epson printer from Best Buy, and I bought then an additional printer ink package to go along with it. The ink cost $48. So we kind of understand the model that HP is going after, kind of the razor blade model, where they give you the printer almost for free in order to get you addicted to the ink cartridges that you have to pay for continuously. And that's been the model for quite a long time. Remanufactured printing supplies from a number of different companies. When I was reading Entrepreneur Magazine, I came across this company called lasermonks.com. These are actually a group of monks who remanufacture ink cartridges and sell them at a fraction of the cost as what you would pay when you bought them new. If that's something that catches your eye and catches your attention, check them out at www.lasermonks.com, and you can order remanufactured cartridges and do good at the same time. Costco also has a cartridge recharging program. If you go in recharging desk where you can bring old cartridges and have them recharged for fractions of what you would pay to get new ink cartridges. $1 to $2 per cartridge versus a cartridge that may have cost you $30. That adds up pretty quickly, particularly if you have to do a lot of printing for your business. Let's talk about six. You probably use some sort of software for your business. So there's a lot of great companies out there that have made software free and easy, like Google, in using all of their productivity software packages, have made it pretty easy now for businesses to get off the ground. You have calendars, you have word processors, you have document applications where you generate word type files right on their platform online that you can share with others. But if you have free or trial software, as long as you get these, and the best place to check for this free software is download.com. At download.com, they have hundreds of software products that are free, and they also have listings of those that you can get for trial, 30-day, 90-day, 60-day trials of software packages that can help you with your business. I just needed a software package for a short project. And then when I was done, it'd probably be 6 to 8 months before I would need to use that software package again. Purchasing that software didn't make sense, so I'd get a trial version. This is a great opportunity if you're in the same boat that I'm in to utilize download.com to save yourself some money. Plus trial and completely free software packages. Take a look at it, download.com. Seventh way, closing in on all 10, right? David Letterman, eat your heart out. One surefire way to get discounts is to join an association. And associations are great places to find those discounts. As a matter of fact, there was one that was pretty controversial right here in the state of Georgia. The NRA, if you will remember, gave you discounts on airlines like Delta Airlines. Now, a number of those airlines have stepped away from providing those types of discounts, but you get my point. Many associations that you can join will give you discounts that you wouldn't get as everyday citizens. And the one that I've worked with the most is AAA. Yeah, AAA. You think about AAA when you think about getting your car towed or get your battery changed or have a flat tire. But just by having that AAA card, you can also get a lot of discounts for your business. Consider some of the ones that I've taken advantage of. 15% off all your users. 15%. So what if you got to make copies for presentations? You got to mail, ship packages. 15% can add up if you're in the type of business that has to move, copy products or paper, where UPS can be a partner in assisting you in doing that. How about 40% off all AMC tickets? 40%. Most tickets now are close to 20 bucks. Saving you 7 or 8 is not bad. Now, I do a little fun podcast on the side called Movie Reviews from the Edge. So I go to the movies quite a bit because I want to see what's going on so that I can video blog about it. So having AAA helps me get tickets at a cheap price. Drug prescriptions, in some cases, as much as 75% off drug prescriptions when you have a AAA card. 7 to 10% off your car insurance, and 10% off hotel stays. All of these add up when you think about them from a business perspective. Terrific way to save money and put more back into your pocket. The eighth way to save a little bit of money and get a little bit more mileage is to partner with local colleges and local business schools to get interns. Now in Atlanta, you have a wealth of schools that you can turn to get fantastic interns. They already have programs designed to work with small businesses. Georgia Tech's Business School provides interns to go in and work with small companies as projects so that they can get class credit. This will be a great way for you to get young, talented men and women who will spend time with your business and do research, assist with marketing programs, analyze operations. I mean, really give you hard hitting information that could be transformative to your business. Emory's Gosweda Business School also has the same sort of program. But if you're in a town that does not have a program that's already established, work with some of the business professors and get it off the ground. I myself worked in helping to get one off the ground at Concordia College in Selma, Alabama. And we were able to place, a half a dozen young men and women in local companies and provide them with talented resources that took on some pretty hard-hitting projects. Worked on supply chain, worked on marketing programs, and these were free resources to these companies to do things that they just didn't have the manpower or sometimes even the tools to take on those projects. And because these students had access to resources back at the college, they were able to bring those things to bear to give more value to those companies that participated in the programs. So if you're looking for talent and can't afford it and can't even afford to use some of the websites that let you tap in the virtual workers, utilize these intern programs as a way to get smart people looking for experience as well as college credit and make that a valuable part of building your business and getting resources that you probably can't afford in 4 or 5 years once they graduate. Now, if your business is in any way buying equipment, raw ingredients, if you're a restaurant or you're a manufacturer, this next way to save money is absolutely critical. If you're a local restaurant and you're buying meat and you're buying fish or you're buying whatever the ingredients are, and you have not formed a purchasing alliance with the local grocer, with other restaurants, so that your cost will go down, shame on you. Shame on you, because that's an opportunity for all of you to win and not to look at everything you do as competition who are around you in your local community. So if you're a restaurant, invite them over for a meal at your restaurant and say, hey, I have an idea. You buy meat, I buy meat. Why don't we buy it together? That gives both of you the opportunity to take on the giants that you're competing with in your community. That mom and pop can take on the Walmart, and you all by yourself. And a purchasing alliance is a great way to add value for both companies. Co-opetition, right? When you cooperate together, even if you compete a little bit. And I've seen that in towns where restaurants that serve the exact same food form purchasing alliances and they both benefit. You go, why would they work together? Because that gives them the opportunity to survive. Just because you're in the same market doesn't mean that the pie isn't big enough for both of you to share. And I think they've seen that as an opportunity to share and to even grow the market if they can pass on some of those savings to customers by creating these purchasing alliances. Now, I mentioned associations earlier as a way to lower your costs when I talked about the AAA, giving you discounts on UPS stores and movie tickets and hotels. But there's another one that you should absolutely speak to on our videos and in our podcasts. And the one association that I'd want you to consider as a top 10 way to save some money is the National Association for Self-Employed. The National Association for Self-Employed. The NASE is an organization that helps to market small businesses to larger companies or help small businesses partner together. And they provide a wealth of ways for you to save money, just like the AAA. They give you up to 32% off UPS overnight delivery services. They even award grants to their members who are looking to expand and grow their business. Their grants are awarded monthly, and you can get up to $4,000 to invest in your business if you are selected. $4,000. That's a terrific starting point for some major investments. You need to repair or even buy a delivery truck, buy a new grill, uh, add on to your warehouse. $4,000 can go an absolute long way if you of self-employed. You can also sign up for their marketing database. They have a free account where you can just sign up and submit your information. That makes you eligible to be searched by companies who are looking to do business with small businesses. So it's a great way to get your name out there by writing in the database with other companies that are marketed to larger companies that want to do business with small minority or non-minority businesses. And there are tons of companies out there that are always looking for great small businesses. A few years back, Walmart announced that it wanted to do $1 billion in business with Black farmers. Coca-Cola announced the same thing, that they want to do $1 billion with small businesses. And one of the frequent comments when these programs are put out there is that they can't find enough businesses to meet those targets. Get your name in that database so that you can be among those companies that get contacted with these sorts of opportunities. So those are the top 10 for this month, ways that you can make $1 out of 15 cents. But I'm not done. I want to throw in one more, the bonus round for this month. Yard signs. Yes, you see them all the time with politicians. You drive down the street, especially during an election, and you can't go more than 5 feet until you can see the next political yard sign. Why not leverage that to help get your name out there in your community? I'm going to go back to my friends at Vistaprint. I mentioned to you that a car magnet was only $15. Well, yard signs on Vistaprint's platform start at $14. Now, there are many other sites out there. I use a couple of them, Vistaprint and a few others, where the yard signs can go down to as cheap as $5 per yard sign. And you can get a big stack if you start with some of their lower tier discount program. And that's what I did. Using yard signs can be great lead generators, especially if you put them in the right places. Now, make sure you do your homework. Study the local ordinances and make sure that you understand your start putting them out there. But private property, work with your neighbors, work with other businesses, and ask them if you can put yard signs where you can get the most traffic. Let me give you a few places where I've put yard signs and have gotten great feedback. I look for railroad tracks. Yeah, I look for railroad tracks where there's a crossing arm that comes down and stops traffic. And that's where I'll put several yard signs on each side of the road to make sure that those cars that are stopped for a train get a long look at my yard sign and can see those logos, the telephone numbers, and my slogan. I try to keep it simple because I want the wording on the yard sign to be as large as possible And then I test for my own car to see if I can make out the images and the words on that yard sign. And I make sure I put it on both sides where I get the maximum impact from that yard sign. So I'll look for railroad stops and I'll make sure I have enough that I'm going maybe 2 or 3 on each side so that multiple cars, when they pull up and the train's coming, they can see it. So 1, 2, 3, kind of in sequence, and then on the other side, 1, 2, 3. So I'm assuming, based on at least my visual test when I put them down, that up to 10 cars on each side can see the yard signs while they're stopped. Now, when that train goes by and those arms go back up, the traffic is going to move at a slow rate. So you're going to get another group of 10 as the traffic starts to clear up, getting a good view of your yard signs. Sticking with that theme of trying to find traffic that has stalled, off-ramps. Now I'll drive around and look for off-ramps that seem to be backed up all the time. There may be a light at the end of the off-ramp that causes cars to build up, or there may be a sharp turn that slows cars down and causes those cars on the off-ramp to back up behind the person making that sharp turn. Either way, that's a great opportunity to catch a captive audience and get your yard sign out there in front of them. And I'll, again, use the same tactic of using multiple signs on that side where it's most visible, where I can get to the most cars as they creep along trying to make their way off that off-ramp. So yard signs are a great, great lead generator. Those are 2 really good places. The third place is I would typically, if I'm leaving a city, if I'm going from Atlanta to, say, Montgomery, there's great opportunities to place a yard sign out on an open piece of road. And because it's the only thing that people can see for yards and yards, maybe even miles, it draws their eye to it. So I'll put a sign before an overpass on a highway, and the eye is just drawn to it because it's the only thing sitting there by that overpass. I'll put it out in an open field if it's private property and I've gotten permission from the person that owns that, or I'll put it up on a big tree that's along the road and, again, get permission, but it's so visible that it will draw the eye. Those are my top 3 tactics for displaying yard signs, and I've gotten really good response from that. The times when I've used it have been when we've launched mobile apps that go on the iOS platform or the Android, and we were trying to encourage people to download the app. Didn't have a big marketing budget, but this was one way where we could guerrilla our way in by putting these yard signs out and encouraging people to download the app. So we got downloads at fractions of the cost that other people were spending to get folks to engage their app. So this was this month's top 10 plus 1 bonus way to make $1 out of 15 cents. I appreciate you tuning in. Tune in next month where we will repeat this with a new, fresh set of ways for you to save money that you can invest in slingshot technology. That disruptive technology that I described that you can use to defeat the corporate giant. Just like a slingshot that allowed him to be nimble, to be fast, and to deliver the destructive blow to Goliath when they were in combat. That's what I want your small business to be able to do. And the best way for you to get that technology is to save the cash that's necessary to invest in your business. Tune in next week and also follow us at the Guerrillapreneur podcast. You can find us on Podomatic, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Oh, that's Guerrillapreneur. Have a great day.